Welcome back to our streaming marathon. Now I'm gonna have principal dancer of Slovak National Theatre, Tatum Shoptaugh.
Hi,
Welcome.
nice to
Hello.
see you.
How are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Great to see you. Doing great. So today it's really like a marathon. Like so far, we
Yeah,
had 4 classes, and I think you are the fifth, no, seventh interview. So
I'm happy to be a
a lot
part
of
of it.
fun.
A lot
So
of
we
things.
are like very glad to bring like ballet artists and industrial professionals like to internet today because I mean that's
Yes,
I think the best like we can do like during the
yes, yeah,
uh,
definitely.
quarantine. So first of all, like we would like to get to know you better. So would you please like tell us when and why did you start dancing?
Okay, I started dancing quite late actually. I was 12. Before that, I was a freestyle skier actually. So I tried a bunch of
Really?
different sports and I just always loved dancing and music. And when I tried ballet at a Russian school in America, I just immediately loved it and was really motivated to make it my profession. So I was 12 and I was in a small studio in Colorado.
And like after that, like you went to St. Petersburg, Vagonova
Yes,
Academy, right? One of the most prestigious like ballet school in the world.
yes,
Can
I
you
did.
describe your experience?
Yeah. So I was studying on a scholarship in Washington D.C. for 1 year in the Kirov Academy when I was 15, 14 or 15, and actually I got accepted into Vaganova the following year. And so I decided to finish my studies there. And it was a dream come true, really. I mean, it was like every documentary you watch about the school and you feel the history when you're there. You just feel like you're really a part of this history and it's beautiful. And you feel this responsibility to show what you studied there.
Right, and then like after that, like you moved to Slovakia, right? I mean, how did you
Yes.
join Slovakian National Theatre?
So in Vaganova, obviously it's really prestigious, and so a lot of company directors and also school directors come and visit, and you kind of have this in and out of different people all the time watching classes and trying to learn from Vaganova and the technique. And so we often actually had a lot of directors or teachers coming to visit. And one day there was the director, Josef Delinsky, from our theater here in Slovakia, and he offered me the job on the spot actually. So they
And
actually came.
uh, could you tell us about your like cultural like transition, being raised like from America and then living in Russia and then Slovakia?
Yeah, sure. So when I moved to St. Petersburg, I knew a little bit of Russian because I had studied for about 2 months in Moscow at the Bolshoi Ballet Academy before that. And so when I joined Vaganova, I was actually the only international student in my class, and I was kind of just thrown into the culture. I had to learn how to take classes and everything in Russian, and luckily I got a bunch of really great girls in my class, so they helped me. But the main thing about getting into the culture was just going out with the girls in my class and trying to do my best to learn the language. And actually, it was a quite smooth transition.
Right.
It was comfortable.
Uh,
So,
my next question is: if you had not been a ballet dancer, what would you have done?
oh, that's a really hard question, actually. um, I always actually wanted to be a surgeon when I was younger. I really am intrigued by medicine, I guess. And but I don't know. I think like my heart was always with the arts. I always loved to sing and dance when I was little. So it's a hard question, but I also like to do formal studies. So I was interested in medicine growing up as well.
What do you do during the quarantine? Like, how do you stay fit? Like, do you do daily like classes online?
Yeah, I think I'm staying in shape, probably the same as everyone else. I'm trying to take some online classes or bar in my small apartment. I do like hot yoga. I can get that actually from my studio in Colorado. So it's great to have this technology. And working out outside, just trying different workouts, things that I would never do, like any online workout that I can find that maybe I wouldn't normally try. And now I have the time to. So
Which one is your favorite among the classes?
I really like hot yoga. I don't know why. It's just relaxing, but also I feel strong from it. Like I'm building core strength, and I would like to have more of that when I'm dancing. Sometimes I forget about that strength because I'm so wrapped up in trying to make the steps nice or be soft, and so it's nice to concentrate just on that core strength. Yeah.
Like, do you have like any chance to do like something else, like at home, like reading books? Like, do you have any recommendations?
Yeah, I just finished a book called Where the Crawdads Sing. That was really good. It was a quick read, but I'm actually also studying. I actually finished my degree for criminal justice in 2018, but I'm like this kind of person that really likes to learn new things all the time. So I've been studying meteorology and reading books about that,
Really
about the weather and stuff. Yeah.
interesting. And going back to ballet, I mean, uh, what is your like favorite role, and any specific role that you want to dance in the future?
Well, this is a really easy question for me because I really love Giselle. That's definitely my all-time favorite role. I would dance it all the
Mine
time if
too,
I had
by
the
the
choice.
way.
Oh, really?
Seriously,
Good take.
seriously, like number one.
Yeah, I love the tragedy in it, and it's just beautiful. I feel so emotional when I dance it, and when I hear the music, it makes me want to cry. But it's just beautiful, and uh, probably the role that I'd like to dance next is Nikia from Balet or Juliet from Romeo and Juliet. So I like the emotional roles.
And like, can you talk about the challenges of the ballet profession, and what's the like best thing about being a ballet dancer?
That's hard to limit. I think, well, everyone knows that the profession is not easy. It's really difficult. It's mentally difficult because we all strive to be perfect and beautiful and not show any effort on stage, of course, but also difficult because you have to put in so much effort in the studio, and to get to the final product on the stage is obviously really difficult and takes a lot of time and passion and dedication. So that's the most difficult part of the job. I never felt a lack of effort or a lack of passion for it. So I would just say like the difficulty is to get the result that I want every time, because I always want to have it better than what it was. So that it's hard to get to that level where you're really truly happy with what it was. But the best part of the job is definitely for me on the stage. I love to be like totally wrapped up in the ballet and in that moment, and feel like give my feelings to the stage and to the audience. That's the most rewarding.
And like, I remember like going like behind the stage after some performances to celebrate like the artists. Sometimes if it is like emotional ballet, I see that the artist is, yeah, she didn't come back to the world yet. I mean, she's still
Yeah,
in
yeah.
another dimension. Like, do you have that too?
Yeah, that's a
So,
good observation. Yeah, definitely, especially after something like Giselle, for instance. you feel that for, I don't know, hours after. And often even in the bow, I'm enjoying the applause, but you're so in your emotions and in the story, and you're still that character. Like you said, you haven't really come back to reality yet. So yeah, that's a
And
beautiful thing.
we have like a question from the audience, Idil. Have you ever felt the pressure of being the best? I think that's also a general question. It applies to like any profession. And like, how did you like overcome it?
I would say I never felt pressure to be the best. That maybe stems from starting so late. I was really young in a beginning class, or really old in a beginning class, sorry. I was with a bunch of younger girls, and so I always just wanted to get better for myself, I guess. And in Vaganov, I experienced a lot of competitiveness, but in a really healthy way. Like, you all want to be your own best, but we actually are encouraging each other to be better. So you know that you can learn from someone that may be better at something than you. And I never really felt like I need to be the best. I always just try to give what I can, my best.
Right. So like any plan for like after the stage life is over? What's your next passion? Tutoring, choreography?
No, I wouldn't say I'm a big choreographer. I have choreographed before, and I have taught ballet classes before, and I do teach sometimes. But I would like to maybe use my degree and go into something totally outside of ballet,
A
like
second
criminal
career,
justice.
right?
Yeah, I would like to go into like a totally different profession, I think, but still be involved in the arts because it's just such a big part of who I am. So
what will you do right after this crazy times end? Like,
right
what are the plans?
after.
Any traveling, or like which performance is like on the book right now?
Oh, well, we have Cinderella that was supposed to be 3 days ago, I guess, the premiere. So we're missing that, and that's definitely the one that I'm looking forward to next. So when we start back up, I would love to keep working on that. But in terms of as soon as the quarantine ends and the pandemic starts to settle down, I'd love to just like go back to a little bit of normal life and go out, for dinner with my friends again, and or even just have them over for a glass of wine or something. But
Right.
I'm hoping to get home to travel and just spend some time with my family. That's definitely the number one.
So like Cinderella and Giselle is your favorite. So
Giselle,
anything else that like we can watch you if we ever like come to Slovakia in person? So which ballet like do you recommend? Or
yeah,
like anything else that like you didn't dance so far?
yeah, okay. Well, we have a lot of really beautiful ballets. We have an old theater and a new theater, so the stages are a little bit different. And if you like emotional stuff, I would definitely suggest something like Giselle or even Cinderella. The music is really beautiful, and we also have like a really great production of Corsair and Don Q. That's from Vasily Medvedev and Stanislav Fecho, and they produce like really big sets and beautiful costumes. That's more of an exciting ballet to come watch. So I would definitely recommend any of the classics, really. We have a lot here, so.
And do you dance also like contemporary roles in Slovak National Theater?
Some small ones. I've done a few in like Natalia Harechna. She's a Slovak choreographer, and she did like a really nice Romeo and Juliet, a more contemporary version of it. And I was dancing some smaller roles there. But yeah, we have them coming in and out of our repertoire basically.
So, like, what would be the most like surprising thing that we should know about you? Like, which question like should we ask you?
Oh, I'm not sure. The most surprising thing about me. I guess that I was like a athlete before I started ballet. That's most people are really surprised when I tell them that I was doing something totally different and I didn't come from an artistic family. That's probably the most surprising thing if you know that I'm a dancer and know my history.
I can see that. Well, I thank you so much for this lovely interview.
Thank
It was great,
you.
like, to knowing you.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
And I wish you and like all the dancers like stay healthy and like happy during these days.
Yes, you too, and everyone watching.
I take care. Goodbye.
Bye. Thank you.
Cheers.